name is Diane Jackson-McLean. I'm the co-chair of the Legislative Committee for CABL, and Rick Owens is also the other co-chair, and I want to welcome you to our legislative reception. We had a wonderful day in legislation, and it was really great partnering with the 100 coalition of the 100 Black women. It was just such a really, really like emboldened me. So I'm ready now. But anyway, today we're just going to honor a couple of people who have really been pivotal in legislation as well as the community. We do this every year just to kind of recognize that we see you, we recognize you, and we want to appreciate you. So with that, I'm going to have, we have been very fortunate for the past 3 years to be sponsored by the California Lawyers Association, and I want to just give Chris Wynn an opportunity, the CEO of the California Lawyers Association, to say a few words.
Thank you, Diane. Like she said, it's going to be a few words, not too long. I want to extend our welcome to CABL and the 100 Black Women's Association. We enjoy co-hosting and putting this on and offering our facilities to your organization. And I'm gratified. I like the fact that every year that I've been here, this is the beginning of my 3rd year, this reception has been growing. So I'm very appreciative of everybody here and the work that you guys have been doing. So again, I just want to extend our welcome and our pleasure to just be able to partner and put this location available for CABL's use as you, enjoy your receptions after your legislative day. And we're going to turn back to me. Back to you.
Okay, we're going to go out of schedule because we have people who are trying to catch planes. So in order to recognize our very important legislator of the year, we're going to have Gary Farwell, who's the past president of CABL, to do the introduction.
All right, thank you. Sorry to take it out of order. Good to see you all. Sorry to have to take it out of order, but I got to get to LA, back to the airport so I get to Long Beach. They flew me out of Long Beach instead of LA. Actually, I want to introduce his brother because he's a good brother. Assemblyman Isaac Bryan. He's a former majority leader. His career has been focused on addressing racial inequalities in the criminal justice system. I'm going to go just through some highlights and then tell a personal story. He's a community organizer, policy expert, and a published scholar. He got a master's from UCLA. Woo! I knew I'd get that response. And he's been a powerful driver at the intersection of environmental, economic, education, racial, and housing justice. But we were in Leimert Park right after reparations got knocked down by Gavin Newsom, and they was pissed. The community was pissed. Isaac showed up anyway. It wasn't even about him. He showed up, and they was ready to take the brother out.
No staff, nobody.
Yeah, he stood there. He took it, spoke to him, stayed around, talked afterwards. But they was really, young brothers, street dudes. Yeah. They was like really trying to get tough. But man, he stood up to him, and he's still here. A round of applause for Assemblyman Isaac Bryan.
Yeah, man, that was a day. Thank you, CABL. You all are such a powerful voice in Sacramento. It's good to see some of y'all who have testified with me over and over again. Good to see some of my LA brothers up here who have come up. We often get asked a lot of questions about constitutionality and what does this look like in practice? And we have ledge counsel, but we also can sometimes have different types of opposition that claim legal expertise. And I'm not a lawyer, not by training, not by practice. And when I think about who's got my back, it is this association. And when I think about who's got our back, the Legislative Black Caucus and Black people in California, it is this association. It's the diversity of your practice. It's the diversity of your experience. And it's the power that you bring to that desk when you sit next to us. Last year, there wasn't an assembly member who got more bills signed into law than I did. Any caucus, as any race, I got 1 bill vetoed. And people tell me, man, you went 12 for 13. That's pretty good. I said, yeah, but we wanted that one. We wanted that one. CABL wanted that one. We did the work.
Right.
We deserve that one. In fact, you testified so strong. This organization stood in the pocket so strong with us, we didn't have a single voice of opposition on the floor. They were terrified to stand up against us because we came that correct. And while the governor didn't sign it, it was also the first time I let him know publicly that we were dissatisfied. And I thought that that was important because I think when you do the work, you deserve to have the change happen. But I'm not in a place of thinking that we've lost anything. What it reminded me is that when we stand shoulder to shoulder, we can get anything we need to that governor's desk. And now we've got to get what we need signed from him and the next governor, which means our power is only growing. We are only getting started. I'm not even halfway done up here in Sacramento, and I know you aren't either. And so I'm looking forward to legislating with you year in and year out as we change the conditions of life for Black California. So thank you for honoring me. I truly, truly am honored, and thank you all for being here today. That's amazing. Y'all a lot nicer than the folk in Lamert, too. Thank you so much.
So we look forward to continuing this Can we get a cable picture with you? Okay, can we get the cable? Teamwork with teamwork. Good evening, everybody. Thank you all for coming. My heart is so full with how this day went. I mean, it could not have gone better. One of the things that we continue to do is find ways that we can continue to collaborate and connect with our legislators, because we know that when we all come together in a meaningful way, we're able to bring about change. Assemblymember Bryan just gave you a look into how we were rallying behind him for AB 7 this year, last year, and we just want to continue to build on that momentum. I just want to thank you sincerely to the National Coalition of 100 Black Women for the exciting day and the collaboration opportunity. We really appreciate that support. We really appreciate the thought partnership, and we look forward to continuing this work together. We were just talking to some of the legislators earlier today as we were wrapping up about how they're looking for us to show up, and these types of collaborations is how we are continuing to show up each time. And so I'm looking forward to continuing to grow this relationship, this collaboration effort, and I appreciate all of you for coming out, supporting, standing with CABL, and continuing to support these legislative efforts. So thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you all in 1 month in Oakland, California for our annual conference. It's the 49th annual. We've got a lot of great things on the horizon, and we look forward to Carmen coming to tell me what's about to happen.
I'm getting Attorney of the Year! So you all can come see us.
Yes, and in addition to that, we want to shout out, because I was just about to shout out our incredible legislative co-chairs who get into the weeds with this and make sure that this day goes off every day very successfully. Our co-chairs, Diane Jackson McLean and Rick Owen, and
let's give them a hand.
a tremendous amount of work to make sure that this day goes great. And I want to say thank you to CLA for hosting us continuously, Terrence for establishing that relationship and making sure that we continue to show up here. And in addition to Carmen being Attorney of the Year, we are also inducting our legislative co-chair, Diane Jackson McLean, into our Hall of Fame. And for coming this effort, we're so excited to have you. Thank you so much.
All in favor?
Sade, but I'm gonna say it's Sade. I'm
Yes, Sade. Sade works.
Elhawary?
Almost.
Okay.
Elhawary.
Okay,
Just the
Elhawary.
H and the W.
Okay, got it.
Everything else is good.
But
Thank
we
you.
lifted up one of your bills and we're just
I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna write. And just before you speak, Assemblywoman, so Rick is just gonna share a little bit for those of you who don't know. We were lifting up one of our priorities.
2014.
Yeah, one of the priority bills we lifted up today was Assemblymember Elhawary's bill, AB 2014. And Rick is just gonna give you a brief overview of the significance of that bill, so that we can thank the Assemblywoman for leading and championing this policy.
Well, yes, thank you, and thank you to the Assembly member for being here today and for running this important piece of legislation. AB 2014 is a bill that would require heightened scrutiny for any evidence that's presented in court that would elicit any type of gender bias or stereotype. We know that these stereotypes are prevalent in cases where women are charged as defendants, especially Black women, and the type of things that are brought up in court, whether it be illicit photos, sexually explicit text messages, or just expectations of what a woman or what a mother should do, are often presented in court as evidence without any objection, because there's nothing currently in our evidence code that directs judges to have any type of special care about those issues. And so this bill would at least allow judges to have that heightened attention so that we'd have a hearing outside of the presence of the jury before any of those issues are brought forth in open court. It's something that's very important, but it certainly took a lot of courage to run this bill in a climate today where, you know, anything seen as criminal justice reform is questioned. But we certainly appreciate the Assemblywoman for running it. We were in our corner 100%, and we are hopeful that this bill will pass. So thank you.
Thank you. Rick definitely described my bill better than I ever could. So let's give it up for Rick. I'm Sade Elhawary, and I'm gonna share how to say it just in case it's helpful for folks to mention. So this is what I tell people. It's like the H and the W in Hawaii. So, you know, just in case so we don't get that backwards. And then it rhymes with Ferrari. I don't know if that's totally true. Somebody told me that's not true, but that's what we gonna just picture Sade in Hawaii on a Ferrari, and then how to say my name. So Elhawary. And for folks who are wondering, my dad's Egyptian. That's where the last name came from. Because somebody said earlier, like, oh, that's okay. So I just want to, just in case, you know, folks are like, where is that? So I am so proud to be serving in the State Assembly. I represent South Central LA. I've been here for a little over a year. That's right. It's my first time ever serving in elected office. I come from a community organizing and education background. And it's been an incredible, year and a couple months now, just learning what it takes to really make an impact in our community and doing what it takes to be brave and to be courageous, even when it's hard. I think that's the thing that I feel most proud of, is that in the space where there's an expectation that you kind of move a certain way or do a certain thing or vote a certain way, that we've been able to say, like, that's not what we're doing, because I didn't come here to be nobody's friend. I didn't come here to try to make anybody else happy except for my community, and really, actually represent them in a way that our communities deserve. And when it comes to the legislation that we're doing around criminal justice reform, that's one of the core pillars in our office, is really looking at what we can do to ensure we're thoughtful around restorative justice. So I'm so grateful that y'all were able to support on this bill today, and I'm really excited about the alignment. Sean and I were talking earlier, and he was like, they asked for our fact sheet, but I didn't know they was gonna do a whole thing with it. So it really does mean a lot to have your support with helping to get the word out, helping to push it forward. I think the last couple things I'll say are, in my first year in doing this work, I've been so proud to be a part of the Black Caucus that has really, I think, in a lot of ways, and I saw y'all were able to uplift Isaac, has continued to really be thoughtful in how we lock arms, how we look at doing this work, especially around reparations, to move it forward and to actually think about what it's going to take to be strategic in that way. We're in our last year with the governor, and so what we can do now is going to make a big difference, but also what we do to prepare for the next governor is going to matter. And lastly, I have an incredible team. I'm so lucky to have folks who have been doing this work. Because this is my first year, so much of the legislative process is still new, but knowing and being thoughtful about the kind of legislation we take on makes a really big difference. And so being able to work with folks like Sean Porter, who's in my office, it's definitely made a huge difference. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for your support, and excited to continue working together. I'm down for a picture.